Local authorities frequently set up trail cameras or forest reconnaissance cameras to monitor wildlife in the area and also for safety purposes. While most of the images of the trails are only monotonous recordings of wildlife and animals, sometimes people end up finding strange and bizarre things in the footage as well. Today we are going to show you some of the most unexpected and extraordinary trail cameras captures that no one should have seen. Number 11 will blow your mind. Number 1. Bear fight. Who understands wild animals know that they don't like to invade their space? Just take a look at these two huge bears fighting for a small area on the ground. In the aggressive exchange between two bears, a black bear and a caramel were captured by a camera. It is quite evident that the caramel is dominating the fight, but to avoid being hit by the enemy, the black bear tries to hide behind a tree. Black bears are very ferocious creatures, capable of killing a human without any effort, but usually, black American bears tend to avoid interactions with humans, unlike these brown bears, which are legendary and scary creatures feared by most people. Black bears, on the other hand, are rarely considered a threat, despite the fact that they inhabit the same regions as their most scary relatives. When confronted by people, black American bears only imitate aggression, making noise and hitting the ground with their paws to avoid fights. But why do black bears overpower brown bears, for example? Their counter-human attacks are more prevalent in North America than brown bear attacks. The violent behavior of these bears is mainly triggered by hunger, instead of territorial disputes. But in this case, these two bears are trying to hit each other on the territory. We will definitely like to know which one won. Number 2. Sasquatch. Sasquatch, or as the pop culture calls it, Bigfoot, is a tall, hairy, raised, and walking monster that looks a lot like a simian. According to most legends, he lives in the depths of the forest. A man named Corey Goodman shared a video on YouTube in May 2019. He claimed that it was evidence of a sighting of the Bigfoot in the Laramie Forest, Wyoming. According to Corey, the video was filmed almost 24 kilometers south of Laramie. In the footage, a tall, dark and hairy creature walking on two legs can be seen crossing a clearing between the trees around. He turns for a moment to look at something and then moves away just to disappear into the forest. The people who recorded this video had actually gone out to film the steam engine when they came face to face with this supposed monster. Nobody knows if this is authentic or not. It could be an ambush or just a random person walking among the trees. Between the 70s and 90s, local farmers reported multiple reports of harassment of the Bigfoot and even the murder of people in the Esmeralda Verde Triangle area. The Bigfoot was also considered responsible for the death of 3 migrant workers in 1993, but the documentary Hulu, entitled Sasquatch, revealed that such allegations are used by criminal drug operators to smuggle their rivals and competition. And that people, along with incompetent police authorities, are responsible for the high crime rate in the entire area. Number 3. Oblivious lights. The disturbing footage of a camera trail recently became viral online and caused a lot of controversies. In the video, a pair of strange round lights can be seen hovering over the head of a deer in the dark. These lights were not a single event. Instead, they were captured over a whole week. Most alien and conspiracy theorists are now claiming that this is the footage of a UFO sighting. But the camera manufacturers have revealed the real reason behind these sinister lights. After all, they can see thousands of these things. Boyd Barnett, marketing manager in the advertising of Moultrie products in Alabama, along with many others, argued that these lights in the footage are just the reflections of the eyes of the deer that jump inside the infrared camera. They think the image is quite overexposed, so much so that it looks like the deer is looking out toward the lights, although in fact, he is just looking at the camera. The ghostly fog seen in the images can also be attributed to this effect. However, this theory failed to convince Rainer Shadows, the person who installed these cameras on his property in Mississippi. Number 4. Goon or a Dryad. We've all seen those CCTV and trial cam images where people saw semi-transparent ghosts or invisible entities moving heavy objects. But believe it or not, visible things can often be much scarier than invisible ones. For example, take a look at this image. The guy is usually tall and bulky, using a mask, and can be seen wandering in the woods. He is also carrying a knife in one hand. This was captured by the camera of a hunter who had installed it to keep an eye on the wildlife in the forest near his house. The masked giant man does not seem to know that a camera is watching him. Otherwise, he probably would have avoided getting so close. Nobody knows why he was in the forest and what he was doing there at night when this photo was taken. But by the look of it, it is evident that he was not doing anything good. Some people on the internet thought it wasn't a person. In fact, they believe that the man in the image is a dryad. Dryads, or tree spirits, are mythical creatures. Dryad is the name given to the nymphs of the trees of the Carvalho. Although now it has become a common term used to refer to all kinds of nymphs, trees, and human trees hybrids. But no one can say for sure if this guy was a criminal, a mythical creature, or just a cosplayer who got lost in the forest. Number 5. The demon chases a deer. This picture has been around the internet since 2005. But every few years it becomes a topic of discussion because of how scary and disturbing it is. He is. There are many different stories associated with this image. From Jersey Devil to Chupacabra and an old simple demon, all types of names were attributed to this scary and horrifying creature that has been seen in many videos of security and video cameras. But recently a Canadian trail camera captured this crazy image. It was loaded in a hunting forum, and the diabolic creature that chased a deer had shiny eyes, sharp claws, and what looked like wings jumping out of its back. Most viewers thought it looked like Chupacabra, a mythological Latin American monster that was sighted for the first time in Puerto Rico. It is called Chupacabra because it is a vampire and evil creature that attacks and drinks animal blood. According to reports, some people compared it to a dog and others say it looks more like an alien, or a reptilian, but there is no consensus, so it is difficult to say if the thing chasing the brain in the image is a goat's suck or not. Number 6. Scary clown. While most of the strange behaviors captured in the trail cameras are those of animals, there are some lucky cameras that can film strange people too. But this recording of the viral trail camera shows a swollen and colorful clown approaching the camera. The bizarre-looking clown has rainbow-colored hair and his face is painted with makeup that seems weird instead of funny. Hunters usually install hunting cameras in the forest to monitor animal activity. These are usually installed on trees and capture photos and clips when they detect any movement. The media in these cameras is stored in SD cards or microSD. And these photos of video cameras of the circus artist with a crazy appearance have been shared on the internet for a while. But there is no explanation for why this mysterious clown approached this camera. Nobody knows what he was doing in the forest. Most people think it could have been a joke. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Number 7. Mysterious creature. Cameras with motion sensors installed outside a zoo in Texas caught this mysterious creature playing in the dark. The zoo staff and Texas authorities are having trouble finding out who or what it was. Since the footage is taken remotely, they are not able to perceive the fine characteristics of this thing. Definitely does not seem human to most internet users. Some suggested that it could be the infamous goat suck, while others simply think it's an old stranger who goes out for a walk at night. There were some people who thought it could have been a fugitive coyote that was walking on its hind legs. Other theories are a little more absurd and include speculations that it could be a werewolf hybrid or a drunk with a polished owl on its back. The trail camera was installed here for safety reasons. Local authorities shared that the camera only takes footage when it detects movement. They also explained that, whatever this creature was, it remained outside the Amarillo Zoo and there were no signs of a robbery at the entrance. No animal or member of the staff was hurt, and also there were no signs of criminal activity or vandalism. It seems that the authorities are as confused with this creature as we are. They played, calling it a wow or unidentified yellow object. This is very smart, huh? Number 8. Giant trace. This footage captured by a Bell camera can be an abnormally large trace or a fairy. The camera was installed outside a house in England. The owner of the house, Alicia, was out at the time when she was visiting relatives. Suddenly the security system of your house sent her an alert that something was moving outside of her house. According to Alicia, she first thought that the strange flying creature outside her door was a fairy. But then she realized how far she was and tried to find a trace or any other animal that looked like the mysterious creature recorded by the camera at the door. She couldn't find anything that remotely looked like the flying entity. Her family was quite convinced that it was actually a fairy. Where their children had, by coincidence, lost a tooth just when this supposed fairy decided to visit them. So the little one was quite excited about this creature being the tooth fairy. Although it is really unlikely that it was a fairy and not just a common trace, the residents of the house think that a little magic will not hurt anyone. Number 9. Dwarf-eating tree. We all know that dwarfs build dams, but where do they get the wood for the construction of these structures? Well, this footage of a trail camera shows us how they do it. The beavers gradually dig the trees, like the ones you can see in the video. The trunk of the tree eventually gets thinner until it sets. However, it is not always a slow process. The beavers are able to knock down the 8-meter-tall tree in less than 5 minutes. And when the tree falls, they use it as wood to build the dams. This little handsome beaver in the video seems absurd in his work, proving that the statement, occupied as a beaver, is in fact true. How long do you think this beaver took to knock down the tree? That it can be seen, even, biting at this moment. Look how cool. Number 10. The release of the horns. Another adorable animal was captured doing something that most of us had never seen before. All of us have already found 1 or 2 deer in nature, but did you know that magnificent animals release their horns annually? This video of a trail camera really recorded a deer releasing its horns. In fact, at the beginning of the video, you can see that the deer approached the camera, with only 1 horn in its head. He then decided to get rid of the other 2. The deer then can be seen shaking its head and soon the other horn also falls. The process of detaching the horn lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. They would eventually fall, but the hurried deer probably wasn't happy with the appearance of just a horn, so he decided to do something about it. Natural detachment occurs when testosterone levels fall on the body of the deer. This low testosterone causes the weakening of the bones and the decrease in blood supply to the horns, until no blood reaches them, causing their spill. Number 11. Alien or monster. This thrilling video of the trail does not come with much background information. It was uploaded to a YouTube channel that speaks Spanish. The video description says that a witch was found crying on a strange road. The scary creature visible in the footage looks nothing less than a witch from a horror movie. Alien enthusiasts think it's an extraterrestrial being that got lost in the forest. But most people simply didn't buy that idea. They think it's a clickbait trick. The crying sound in the video is also quite disturbing, and a comment in the original video called it more false than Santa bringing gifts to politicians. Another smart viewer explained that the cry sound was taken from a game called Left or Dead, while the witch in the video also looks a lot like the witch from the same game. We hope it's false because if there is the slightest chance of finding such a terrifying creature in the desert, we will never camp or walk. Number 12. Camouflage dancer. Among all the capture of trail cameras of the scary creatures of the other world and wild animals, there is this incredibly beautiful video that will make your day cooler. Sometimes even the bravest hunters feel like they're having a little fun. This video of the trail camera shows an exceptionally well camouflaged hunter who probably noticed the camera and decided to have a little fun. He enjoyed the holophotos to the fullest and would probably be surprised to know that his videos dancing to the camera were shared on TikTok and went viral. And he probably couldn't resist showing his moves. After all, dance is good for both the body and the mind. It's an incredibly fun way to stay in shape, as well as cardio, which improves your cardiovascular health. Research has also shown that dance boosts cognitive performance. It keeps your ability to think even better as you age. This guy must be aware of all the benefits of dance, so decided to stage a performance for the camera in the wild. Number 13. Little Ghost Girl. The small city of Cambridge, located in the state of New York, is where this footage of a little girl was made in the depths of the forest. She has a grumpy expression on her face. The new landowners in the city had set up a camera in the forest. They were hoping to hunt some deer and wanted to know if this area was a route made for many people or not. But to be surprised, the camera captured something they didn't expect. A photo of a girl playing in the woods. This photo of a ghost girl playing in the woods has certainly scared a lot of people. No one knows who she is. The president of a local paranormal research group stated that they have already come across a lot of paranormal activity in this area before. According to the local legend, a girl, almost the same age as seen in the image, was killed while playing on the train tracks one day running through the area. An elderly man also appeared, claiming that the girl in the footage is his granddaughter, but there is no concrete evidence that he is telling the truth. So far the girl remains unidentified, and by the image, it is difficult to say if she is a real person or in fact a ghost. Number 14. Delicious trap. The classic peanut butter sandwich and jelly is one of the favorites for children and adults. But did you know that some animals also find this delicious snack quite addictive? The creamy and soft flavor of peanuts is a great attraction for many wild animals today. Someone saw a hunter using peanut butter to attract small online creatures and decided to test them on larger animals in the forest. They put what seems to be a mountain of peanut butter and jelly in the woods, close to a trail camera, and simply left it for a few days. The camera footage was at least surprising. After all, the deer also love peanut butter as much as we do. In fact, bears and guachinans also seem to be fans. The peanut butter nickname attracted all types of animals that fully appreciate the Golosima. One thing is for sure, peanut butter can now be used as bait because it is easy to obtain, cheap, and animals love it. Number 15. Extinct animal. Do you remember when we said those trail cameras are a great advantage for scientists and researchers? So, here is some evidence that supports this statement. This servo rat was captured looking for food on a trail near traps with cameras installed in a forest in Vietnam. His name is a little misleading since they are not rats or deer. In fact, it is the smallest animal with a shell. It is almost the size of a rabbit and is also called a chevrotain, of silverback. This is an exciting advance, as it is the first sighting of an animal of this type and the last sighting confirmed almost 30 years ago. This half-painted animal has a head, neck, and front legs of rust color, but the rest of the body is gray. Leopards, wild dogs, and pythons are known to be the food of these small creatures, but scientists believe that it was the traps placed by the hunters that led this species to the brink of extinction. They installed 3 camera traps in a forest in southern Vietnam to capture images of this species in extinction. For 5 months, they were able to capture 275 images of this animal. Scientists classify these as 72 separate events. It is not yet clear how many of these rats were actually photographed, but scientists are excited to protect these remaining members of the species. And have you captured anything strange or unreal in one of your security cameras? If yes, tell us in the comments below this video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, it helps us grow and serve you better.